Is College Spirit Day. Wear your college gear. If you weren't in here, it's September 17th. I have UTA right here because I went to UTA. That's where I graduated from. Today's science is simulation practice mixtures for September 17th. All of the other ones are here for this week. When you do your science, guys, after you complete and turn in an assignment, it disappears. So, for instance, is Jakarian in here? I think Jakarian's in here. Jakarian he showed me his screen the other day, and he has zero, or at that point, he had zero assignments showing on his science because he's completed all of them. So it looks clean and there's nothing there for him to do. So he always knows now if he's got an assignment to do, it pops up on his screen. If he doesn't, there's nothing there. So when you go to your science, if you see that there's assignments on there, those mean you haven't turned them in yet and they need to be done. All right, moving on. We are ready for number talks. Go ahead and show me your hands. All right, we are going to look at our objectives today. Go back to Miss Whitehead's classroom for Thursday, September 17th. All right. Oop. Ah! Miss Whitehead went totally to the wrong thing. All right. Our objectives for today is we will explain the meaning of Pemdas and I will demonstrate the order of operations, which means you're going to be able to say why we use Pemdas, and then you're also going to be able to use Pemdas, which is the order of operations, to solve your problems. I will do a quick review with you before I ask you to go into your breakout rooms to complete these tasks. As we remember, parentheses is the P in PEMDAS, and that is the thing that we do first. The parentheses are the circular, curved, not circular, but curved symbols in an expression, and that means do it first. The brackets are the boxy symbols in an expression, and those are normally in an expression because they already have parentheses. So you have parentheses inside brackets, and the parentheses are both grouping symbols. So it says to do what's inside those first. All right, order of operations tells us the order that we need to simplify in so that we get those answers correct and we simplify correctly. As we said, parentheses is first, and PEMDAS is this way. Marvell, I'll let you know when you need to start making notes, okay, sweetie? You can write this down if you want. I just don't want you to stress about trying to write it all down right now. All right, parentheses is the grouping symbols. Parentheses is the same with the order of brackets. So you would do parentheses first and then brackets. Exponents we do not do in 5th grade. We do not do exponents in 5th grade. However, like I said, if you wanted me to show you what those are and how they work so you're ready for 6th grade, I'm okay with that too. Multiplication and division is next, whichever comes first when you're reading from left to right. And then addition and subtraction is the last step, and you determine which one you do again, whichever comes first from left to right. And I'll show you what that looks like. All right, this will be our breakout room, but before we do that, I am going to show you, again, steps to solving or simplifying these expressions. So let me get my pen ready. And, all right. That's why I've lost my pen. All right, here we go. I'm going to go ahead and write an expression with 2 levels of grouping, and what that means is there's parentheses and brackets, okay, or just parentheses twice. So I'm going to do 3 times 5 minus 4 and then let me see, times 2. All right, here is our problem that I am going to show you how we solve today. Let me change my color. Step number 1, what I always do is down here, I am going to write Pemdas. The reason I do that is so that I can see, and this is Marvell where you could start taking notes. This is where you go through and you check each step. When I do this, I'm going to cross out the exponents because we don't have any exponents in 5th grade. All right, step number 1. In this, guys, you can copy this down. This will be recorded notes that will be, this is the live notes that will be on Canvas, and these steps. So if you miss out on something, that's okay. These steps that I'm about to do will be on Canvas. All right, looking at the very first thing I need to do, I'm going to go ahead and look at, let's see, go ahead and look at the P. I'm doing everything in the parentheses first. Everything in the parentheses first. So that means this is in parentheses. So I'm going to go ahead and solve what's in these parentheses. 3 times 5, that's 15. Now I also have these parentheses here, which is 2 plus 4. So I'm going to go ahead and do that at the same time. Now I'm going to cross out everything I've done because I don't need the 3 times 5 or the parentheses anymore because that turned into 15. I do need the subtraction sign here. I still have, let me see, something to solve inside of this. So I will bring the bracket down. I haven't used my 4. I have my parentheses up against a 4. Let me stop for just a second and remind you, or let you guys know if you didn't already know. If you have a number that's right up next to parentheses like this, that means to multiply. That is the same as writing 4 times 8. So it can look like this, or it will look like this eventually at some point in your school career. That means multiply. It's not a decimal, it's up higher and it's bigger. But it means to multiply. This means to multiply, and this against this means to multiply. So now that you know that, this would actually be like this. Or it could look like, let me erase it and show you what it could look like. Or it could look like, and this is going to be on one of your tests in a couple of weeks, so you know, it could look like that. And then I bring down my times 2. So what that means is to multiply here, okay? So I'm going to, for the sake of learning Pemdas, I'm going to go ahead and do it the way that we know and feel comfortable with so you don't get too confused. 4 times 8. So my 2 plus 4, I can cross that out because I used that, and that became 8. 4 times 8, I know it's multiplied because it was up against the parentheses. I brought down my times 2, and I brought down my 15 after I solved it. Next step, again, I'm going to go ahead and change my color, and I am going to look at, starting from the beginning again, what I need to do. So my first step is going to be parentheses again. Well, I have brackets right here that I have to solve, which is the same as parentheses grouping. So 4 times 8. I know 2 times 8 is 16. And if I double 16, I'm going to get 32. So if I double 16, I'm going to get 32. Now I've done the 32. I've solved the 4 times 8. I can cross it out. And then I can bring down my 15, my subtraction, and my multiplication. So I brought everything else down. Now, next step. I'm going to come back here again. Do I have any parentheses? I don't have any parentheses. I finished simplifying them and I got rid of them. Exponents we don't have in 5th grade. My next step is multiplication or division. If I start from left to right and I look, multiplication is right here. So I'm going to do that. 32 times 2. Well, I know that when I times 2, I'm doubling something. I'm doubling anything when you times 2. So I'm going to double my 2, which is 4, and I'm going to double my 3, which is 6. Now I can cross it out because I know I finished it, and I'm going to bring down my 15 minus 64. As you can see, this would end up being a negative number, so I'm going to stop right there. You would normally go ahead and do your addition or subtraction because it's 15 minus 64. But because I just randomly made this up, I hadn't already solved it, so I know it's going to be a negative number. We don't do negative numbers in 5th grade, so I'm going to stop right there so I don't confuse you guys anymore.